What's up, beautiful people? It's a beautiful Tuesday. Hope you guys had a great day, because we're going to have a great evening for the next 30 minutes. Grab yourself something to drink, grab yourself something to eat, get right back here, because you know what it is. It's time now for The Rush.
Take off your shoes and stop right in the spotlight. It's yours, it's yours, it's yours. It's all about you. Show me amazing things you do. Inspire me. Show me a little thing or two. Motivate me. Nobody do the things you do like you do. 'Cause you love it, that's why we love it. You ready for the rush, the rush, the rush. You ready for the rush, the rush, the rush. You ready for the rush, the rush, the rush. You ready for the rush, the rush, the rush.
Hey, everybody, welcome to another exciting episode of The Rush. It's your boy V-Mac, and I want to thank you guys for taking the time out to join us every Tuesday and Thursday right here on your favorite television network. That's right, RTV, channel 212. Well, guys, don't go anywhere. Today we have an exciting show lined up for you guys. We're talking about comics. We're talking about a whole lot of things. So you definitely don't want to go nowhere. You definitely want to keep it right where you got it. And then we got later on in the show, Brooke Rat. She'll be here with our 2018 Road to the Awards. And today, it's going to be an exciting day. All right? Well, listen, don't go anywhere. We got so much in store for you guys today. If you're in the arts, entertainment, music, production, wherever you are in entertainment, you have less than a week left to jump onto our website at www.theelevationawards.com and submit your content today, yes, your content today, for nomination consideration for the 2018 Elevation Awards. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, listen, don't go anywhere. We have the playlist video of the day still to come, an exciting interview with our special guest, the Road to the Awards, and so much more. Let's jump in right now to our playlist video of the day. You're watching The Rush. We'll be right back.
Rising Sun Records.
Right on, right on, right on. Right on, right on, right on. To riding, torchlight would have been your porch light, sunlight and shadows is what all the time then. Get out, oh Lord, there's no leeway. Mountains are highways, dirt is the freeway. I'm talking real horseplay, real downplay, kick in the doorway, they call it foreplay. Part one stood above them all, who's gone, put out on them all. And when it was time to roll, where they hit us now, this was its call. Here alone on this road again, right on, right on, right on. Home again, right on, right on, right on. Dust clouds explode as it disappears. Night falls, it's cold as the desert air. Never camp one spot too long. Over shoulder, danger is forever there. True outlaw, though he never scared. Throughout his soul, he can never care. One gun, 6 shots, that's all he's got. All heart, no love, it was never there. I, fire in the sky. Now a new day dawns. It's time to ride, it's time to ride, it's time to ride. It's time to ride, it's time to ride. It's time to ride, it's time. Fire in the sky, fire in the sky, fire in the sky. Fire in the sky, fire in the sky, fire in the sky. Here alone on this road again, right on, right on, right on. If I never see home again, right on, right on, right on. High in the sky, right on, right on, right on. High in the sky, right on, right on, right on.
Contact Elevation Media Group today, your one-stop shop for all your media, production, and entertainment needs, specializing in a wide range of services, from video, television, streaming and broadcast services, live sound, lighting, and staging services, for events like parties, concerts, and conferences, event management and production services, music production and voice recording services, including radio ads, voice talent services, song recording, mixing, and mastering, graphic design, inclusive of flyers, business cards, logos, motion graphics, and more, brand consultation, and social media management. Give us a call today at 676-1526 or visit our website at www.elevationbahamas.com to request a free quote or set up a consultation session. Elevation Media Group, providing you with quality media and production services for 10 years.
The Master You app is live in the Google Play Store. Download it now. Grab inspirational show highlights, plus access the first of its kind Master You Online University. Learn online at your own pace from your smartphone or any device. Breakthrough courses added every month to take you further in your business, career, and personal development. Watch new episodes of Master You. Read related articles and get practical wisdom for living your best life. Download the Master You app now.
And the winner is...
The award goes to...
And the winner is...
And the Elevation Award goes to...
Paging all entertainers. Submit your material today for the second annual Elevation Awards. From singles, music videos, blogs, TV shows, short films, vlogs, demo reels, entertainment resumes, and more. Submission opens September 4th to October 31st. For more information or to submit, log on to www.theelevationawards.com. Some terms and conditions apply. What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to The Rush. Hope you guys are enjoying the show so far, because we are definitely enjoying bringing the show to you. Now, this special guest that I have joining me now on the show, he's been here for season 1 of The Rush, and we are here, and he came back to kind of let us know what's going on and, you know, bring us up to date, because he got some new things and some new goodies for us today. And I'm talking about illustrator and artist extraordinaire, Mr. Joachin. I hope I said it right.
Yeah,
I
you
said it right? Okay,
yes,
good,
you said it
good.
right. There's a lot of people who don't get that name right.
Okay, so I got it right.
You got it right at the gate.
There you go. There you go. Well, welcome back to The Rush, bro.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be back.
Okay.
You know.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Really
Now, for those persons that don't know who Maz is, tell us a little bit about it. You know, you're here early in the season. You came to promote your new book.
Yeah.
When your comic book.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, tell us a little bit about exactly the person behind the illustrator, behind the pen, or whatever it is that you do.
Okay, sure. Well, you know, my name's Joachin. I'm 27 years old, and you know, I do illustrations. And you know, when I was really young, me and most of my friends, we used to sit around drawing all the time, and you know, it just became a passion, and like we just kept drawing and kept creating stories. And so, in my head, I figured, well, if I have all these stories, I might as well tell them. You know what I mean?
Right.
And as I got older, I realized that, you know, I could actually do this and not like just do this for my friends. I could actually do this and get people interested. So. That was my driving force behind it, and I had so many stories to tell, and I feel like in the Bahamas specifically, we didn't have a lot of unique comic book stories,
Right.
And so that was like my driving force, and I just kind of decided that's what I want to do with my life in a way. So
Right,
yeah.
right.
So,
Okay, so just for common information, you know, is a comic book artist or a comic the same as an illustrator? Like what separates the two of us, or is it one and the same? You got to educate us now.
Yeah, man, that's fine. No, they're actually not one and the same, because an illustrator is a broad term. You know, I mean, an illustrator can be an illustrator of comic books. An illustrator can be a person who illustrates storybooks,
Right.
or who illustrates graphic design. But a comic book artist would be more accurate to call that person a sequential artist.
Okay, so
Right,
you're educating us right now. Okay.
Yeah, you know, you got to get the terms, you know.
Right,
but,
okay.
But yeah, but because I do both, you see, I also illustrate not strictly comic books. So I just say illustrator. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So where do you get the inspiration for your books? Like, how do you come up with the stories? How did you come up with the characters? So you sat down loving cartoons growing up, and you just what is the inspiration behind sitting down and sketching? How do you come up with your characters, and then how do you flip that and create a story out of all of that? Like, how do you marry everything?
Well, I know, like most kids growing up in the 90s, like we had a whole lot of cartoons we were growing up on in that time. And I think, like in the Bahamas, it was like, I think cable had just kind of like taken off.
Boom, boom.
So, we were like the first to get all those kind of shows, and, most kids wanted to do that stuff. And so I just was inspired by the stuff I saw. And as I got older, I got influenced by a lot of Japanese animation, stuff like Miyazaki and, like Dragon Ball Z and all those kind of manga stuff. And so that kind of like seeped into my work and my style. And, from there, you kind of just marry the two styles, the Western and the Eastern style, and kind of create your own. But it wasn't, funny story, it wasn't actually until I was in like 12th or 11th grade when one of my art teachers, she saw one of my drawings and she said, okay, well, why do you do all your characters that look European, Caucasian? They don't really resemble you or anyone around you. And like when she said that, it was like someone removed the veil from my eyes. It's like I could now see. It's like I never thought about that because it was never issued to me.
That could have been how you like your women, though. But that's another story for another day. Continue,
That's a whole other story. But no, it really was something though, because like a lot of kids, we draw what we see, and we kind of, we just regurgitate what we've been taught. And so, unless someone challenges that, you're not gonna see anything wrong with it. And she did. And so for me, it was like I want to create stories that reflect the things around me. And so to kind of go back onto your question, it's like, where do I get my inspiration? I actually get a lot of my characters from my friends, family, people I know, situations I've either been in, or things that I know my friends have been into. I kind of always use those as like springboards for stories.
Right.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
So with all that, we're going to get into the book right after the break. Before we go to the break, I want to find out, like, with all that is said and done, one thing that I've appreciated about this show and being able to do what we do here at The Rush and Elevation is that we have been introduced, even when it comes to entertainment and other areas, we've been introduced to so much untapped markets.
Yeah.
So much untapped markets because, having a show like this or being in the field that we're in, we're so quick to just run to music or anything that's just the more in your face kind of platforms. Like, what has been done or what has been the response for something like this, being in the population that we live in, the side that we live in, that everything is just low energy, the lack of support. Like, what has been how you get 3 books?
I think
you like it that much, or is it really supported?
It is really support. I think a very misconception is that Bahamians don't support Bahamians. I don't think that's true. I think a lot of Bahamians want to see value in your work.
Right.
And if you put value in what you're doing and you put effort, Bahamians are going to be the first ones on board because we like things that look like us. We like things that's Bahamian. We love that stuff. And I think a lot of people just think that. But in truth, when I did the comic books and I kind of started talking about the stories that I was telling and what they reflect and what they were about, Bahamians were quick to go on board. Oh, I like this. Even if you weren't into comics, I think people just kind of gravitated to the fact that this guy tells a story that I'm interested in. I may not care much for comic books, but I like this. So,
but then Bahamians that support what they want support. You ever see a Bahamian say they broke and they ain't got no money, and then but yet when they get that paycheck, they roll in what they want roll in. You see what I'm saying? So Bahamians has perspective. It's all about perspective.
It is all about perspective,
and it's all about your approach. So
I agree.
I think Bahamians will gravitate to anything that's new because we like new things.
That's a fair statement.
So I think Bahamians like to gravitate and support what they want to support.
That is true.
And so. But this is something worth supporting because it's something new.
It's
something
new.
fresh. It's something that people don't typically see on a regular basis. No. So I think it piques their interest. Because to see a Bahamian do it, I think is a more so of not necessarily, but more so, I think this worth something me looking into.
Yeah.
Because this is something that is still uncommon.
Yes.
So that's my view.
No, that's pretty accurate, I think.
So with all that being said, you feel supported. Generally you feel that it's been going good. How do you connect with other illustrators?
Yeah,
Do you
big
sit
time.
around a table?
Big time.
And is that something, a big market? Like, are there people like you here?
Let me tell you something. In the Bahamas, there is probably over 100 kids, and you go to any junior school, high school, primary school, there's probably over 100 kids who draw in comic books. It's not uncommon. Children love drawing comic books. I think people don't tap into that enough, and so that's why, I try to encourage people by showing them that, hey, you can do this stuff, and even if it means taking a loss in a way, sometimes you just got to be the pioneer. And so, comic books, it's not. You don't need a comic book to live. You can't eat a comic book. You can't drink a comic book. It's entertainment. Right. However, there is an industry for it, even outside of the Bahamas. You know what I mean? I've been asked, can I come down to Canada and have a convention for my books? I've been asked. People all over the world have hit me up and say, hey, you ever thought about putting your books in these stores and stuff like that? So there's a market bigger than the Bahamas, but the reason I am so passionate about pushing the idea in the Bahamas for a springboard is because a lot of kids want to do it, and if you don't kind of reach them, it feels hopeless. Right. So that's my whole stance on that.
And that's straight across the board. And I mean, when you're talking about straight across the board, there's really no big market for anything here in terms of entertainment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so what drives a lot of persons, even when it comes to music, to jump inside a studio and say, I can spend a couple $100 on this track, is because Sally Sue over there do it. So, because you see the constant music and other people doing it, then it's worth my money. Yeah. So what are you doing to get more comic book artists to step up their game and write comics and do what they do? Because you get $3 out now, and sometimes it's always
I get that.
It's like you in a circle
I got you.
with married people, and you're the only single one. So you don't want to be alone for the rest of your life. Only be and no competition. No competition ain't good. It's not a good feeling. So,
no, it's not.
So what are you doing to make sure that there are more comic book artists coming up?
I think the most important thing is to set a standard.
Right.
I think when a lot of kids say they want to do comic books, or a lot of people say they want to do comic books, they still don't take it as serious as it needs to be. They kind of go, oh, I'm going to do a comic book. And when I talk to these people one-on-one and I say, hey, look, this is what you need to do. This is who you need to contact. This is what they kind of lose their drive for it because it's work. It's like, oh, what? I have to work? I thought it was just draw. And it's like, once you get people to understand the process, then you weed out the jokers and you get the people who are very serious. And those are the people who are going to be the ones to take it to the next level. And so for me, I always try to put myself on a quality standard. I don't want to just go, well, this is good enough for NASA, that's great by me. I want to go, okay, well, if I put this next to Batman and Superman in a Marvel, in a comic book store, will it still grab people's attention? Will you go, I wonder what that's about? And if I can't truthfully say yes, then I know I'm not doing my job and I got to do it better.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching The Rush. Our special guest today is Mr. Joachin. On next side of the break, we're going to talk a little bit more and get in details about these books and all that good stuff. You don't want to miss it, but right now, here is our road to the awards with Brooke Grant. We're back right after this.
Want to know how your business can be a part of the Elevation Awards? I'm Brooke, and joining me today on the road to the Elevation Awards is Michael Munnings from Elevation Media to tell you more about the advertising and sponsorship packages that are available. How are you, Michaela?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm fantastic. So, Michaela, what are the benefits of sponsoring the awards?
Well, the Elevation Awards is providing a platform for all of our entertainers. So apart from the obvious brand placement and just exposure that your business will get, you will play an integral role in the development of the entertainment industry in the Bahamas.
Wow. So what sponsorship packages do you have available presently?
We have 5 package options. The category sponsor, the People's Choice Awards, our silver sponsorship, gold sponsorship level, and of course the coveted title sponsor.
Wow, it surely does sound coveted. So
yes.
Are there other promotional opportunities for businesses that are looking to take advantage of the upcoming awards?
Yes, there are. We have the nominee announcement that's coming up first on November 16th. So as a sponsor, you get to take part in that, have your brand seen, come on out, support these artists and their products. And then we'll have a series of mini concerts, empowerment events, and as well as what you're doing now, the road to the awards. So there are multiple ways that, a sponsor can really be seen and give back through the leading up to the awards night.
Well, that
So-
sounds great. Are there flexible opportunities for those persons that may have a smaller budget to still sponsor this event?
Yes, there are, because the category sponsorship starts at $2,500, and then it goes up from there to $5,000. The silver sponsorship is $10,000, the gold is $20,000, and the coveted title sponsor is $35,000. So, and then you also have multiple opportunities to just have your ad placements out. If you don't want to go with one of the packages right out, you can have your ad viewed on the show at about $90 per spot.
Wow.
So we do have flexible options depending on how much what your budget is at this time and what you're looking to achieve.
Well, that's so fantastic. How do these businesses contact you to take advantage of advertising and promotional deals?
Well, we're pretty much reachable, so they can get us at the Elevation office. The phone contact is 676-1526, or we can be reached at the elevationawards@gmail.com, or there's a cellular contact 454-2669. So you can get us.
Well, guys, that's going to do it for this edition of The Road to the 2018 Elevation Awards. Be sure to stay connected to The Rush, our social media pages, and our website at www.theelevationawards.com for everything you need to know about the 2018 Elevation Awards. Until next time, I'm Brooke Grant, and this has been your Road to the 2018 Elevation Awards.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Rush. Hope you guys enjoying the show so far, because we're definitely enjoying bringing the show to you. But once again, my special guest, he's still in studio with us, Mr. Maz Joachin.
Joachin.
I get his name right, and then I just froze up just now. Well,
It's fine, you know.
Okay, good. Well, we're here to talk about these amazing books. Now, one of these is your first book that you brought out first?
Yeah,
Okay,
I actually debuted SuperNova Volume 1 on this show, which was last year.
Right.
And SuperNova is my main title right now, and the story revolves around these young women who have extraordinary powers, who are basically fighting for their right to have a voice. And so they deal with issues like xenophobia, sexism, and even a little bit of nationalism and stuff like that in there. But the story focuses around this girl by the name of Akia, who's looking for her missing sister. And so that's the core of that story. It's basically about family. It's about and all those other, more sociological issues that I mentioned, but it all boils down to family. There's some action in there as well. I know people like action, so there's action and tension and stuff like that, but it revolves around those things.
So you do books that people could relate to. So your comics ain't cheesy comics like the typical love stories.
Granted, now I have stories like that, but not this
it's
one.
deep. I hope it's deep. If I buy this, okay, good. So what else you have? What else? You have SuperNova
Volume 1.
Volume
I have SuperNova Volume 1, and SuperNova Volume 2 just came out this year.
Right.
And that just basically picks off right where the first one ended, and it continues to search for a sister. The plot thickens basically, and if you read the first one, a lot of people who read the first one is like, when is the second one gonna come out? I really want to see what happens in this story. So I don't want to spoil too much, but it just picks up with that. But Canyon is a book that I think a lot of people don't particularly know about, because I didn't really push it as hard as I pushed SuperNova, because there was only a limited amount of copies I got for Canyon. But to me personally, Canyon is more my favorite story, because this particular story is about this young lady who lives in this very reserved community, and they have these very sacred beliefs, and she basically breaks one of the laws. She got pregnant, and she was banished to wander this place called the Shara, this desert, to seek redemption. And so it's like, to me anyway, personally, I feel like it's a more in-depth story. It's a character study, and I like character study stuff. So
solid.
I think everyone should really check this one out.
So is there any plans in the future for like movies? Can comics turn into movies?
Oh,
like,
yeah, man.
Is there TV shows, series, any because we moving away, famous don't like read. So I just want to let you know, we live in a society right now where, books ain't really a big thing. I mean, you got some people that love these books.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But what can we expect? Anything on the big screen?
Oh,
Any
yeah.
visuals?
Well, the two things. One, me and an animator friend of mine by the name of Jason Evans, we actually, for the past 2 years, we've been working on a short film called Rosalind. And, we're hoping to premiere it at BIFF this year. We're just tying in some of the loose ends, but it's an animation. That's one thing. And this bit of information that I'm about to give is a bit more exclusive. I don't even think I've ever.
Well, you know, this is a spot for an exclusive. You can't bring nothing here that no one
Yeah,
else
man,
knows.
no,
So
no.
let us know. What else you got? What else you got cooking up in the kitchen?
Like you said earlier, do I connect with any other illustrators, any other artists? I actually did meet up with a few illustrators, some animators, and we all sat down, we put our heads together, and we started working on a pilot episode for a series that we want to do, a Bahamian series, animated series. And so, you know, so far, the images we're coming up with, the characters, the dialogue, it's funny, you know, and it's very Bahamian. So it's like
you got thing in it. Okay.
Yeah. Because the thing is, like with my books, I try to make it more like universal. I don't want to isolate anyone, so it's more all inclusive. So, you know, Bahamians can like it. There's some things that Bahamians only will get, but there's also things that anyone could really pick up on. But this show is strictly for Bahamians in a way, and it's like, it's us. It's all about us. It's about us going to school, us dealing with the government and all that stuff. It's a fun show, so that's something we're working on. And yeah, this is the first time I've ever talked about it. But
well, any release date, anything on paper, any idea when it's going to come out?
Well, release date wise, we don't have any release date. But what we do know is we want the very least we want the pilot to be done before summer next year. Awesome. So we don't know exactly when, but we know we definitely want to wrap that pilot episode up before the summer of 2018.
Well. It's going to be an exciting ride. We definitely going to have our eyes out on you because, you know, when anyone is doing some big things, that's what it's all about. Doing it big or go home. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I mean? That's what it is. So let people know, you know, how can they get the book? How can they get in contact with you? Where they can find it? All that good stuff.
Okay, well, the books are, well, right now I'm currently out of volume 1s, right? But I have reordered them. They should be here by November. Okay. And once they're here, I do have a Facebook page. I'm pretty sure it's going to be on the screen somewhere.
Right there.
Right there somewhere. But it's going to be on my Facebook page, and I'm also starting a mailing list. So if you see this program and you're like, well, I'm interested in this. Everybody has Facebook. Go on Facebook, check out my Steaming Cattle Studios page, and you'll see all the information there, and you could sign up for my mailing list. That way, you'll never be left in the dark. You'll know which books are coming out. I do drop-offs. But for the more sophisticated people who don't want to go to the border of going to emails, you can just go to the National Art Gallery of the Bahamas. I usually put all my books in there, so when they're in stock, still keep an eye out on the page, but you will know to go at the art gallery to pick up your copy. And there's no digital copy and no online copy? There is no digital copy yet, but in 2018, there will be digital copies of all of these books, all of them. So you don't even have to bother, just buy them online.
There you go. I mean, especially the bougie Bahamians.
Yeah, you know, ain't nobody want
to walk in the stars. Well, Maz, you know, this is always a place you can call home. So whenever you got something coming through, just make sure you come and let us know what's good, because you know that's how we roll.
Yeah, man, it's my pleasure. Again, I love the show.
All right. Well, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of The Rush. We appreciate you. We love you. We thank God for you. Make sure you support people like Maz, because guess what? It's not every day you get to see brilliant talent and people doing what they're doing and just doing it like great, like off the chain, great, all right? And for those persons, guess what? You have almost less than a week, or a little bit close to a week, to make sure you submit your content today for the 2018 Elevation Awards. Make sure to go to our website, www.theelevationawards.com. You have until the 31st to submit your content. And guess what? The 31st, we have a special, awesome episode planned for you guys. So you definitely want to make sure you tune in. It's going to be lit. But, no, I ain't going to say nothing more. I think I get the date mixed up. But either which way, make sure you keep it locked right here to The Rush for the entire month of October. And then next week, I'm going to let you guys know some stuff that we have planned for November. So you definitely want to make sure you keep it locked right here on your favorite television show, all right? It's your boy V-Mac along with Maz and Tell. We meet again on Thursday. Have a blessed one, everybody. Deuces.
Take off your shoes and stop right in the spotlight. It's yours. It's yours. It's yours. It's all about you. The amazing things